minutes.
Great.
Welcome Dan to share his speech years ago. Please, Dan.
All right. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. My life changed dramatically in September 2017. No, there were no new homes, job changes, or graduations to celebrate. None of my friends or relatives got married or had some other significant life event. So knowing this, what could have possibly happened that would have changed my life in such a profound way? In this speech, I invite you to join me in the event that shaped those last 4 years of my life and many more to come, hopefully. No, it's not the birth of my child. I doubt I could handle that. It's actually getting my furry little four-legged friend. Now, it all started out innocently enough. My wife and I were spending a beautiful September Saturday afternoon on the Massachusetts North Shore. The 75-degree sun on our shoulders reminded us that summer was not quite yet over. We headed to a local brewery to quench our thirst after a long day of walking around this seaside town. We were surprised to see so many people hanging in and outside this establishment. They were imbibing, playing lawn games, and socializing with many seemingly like-minded individuals. In addition to all this fun, when my wife and I were pulling into the parking lot, we realized that everyone there had brought their canine companion to join in this sunny weekend outing. When we actually got there, the folks were more than friendly. We met dozens of dogs and their owners. We pet golden retrievers, dachshunds, Doberman, bulldogs, and loads of mutts. And after tons of licks from all of them and a few IPAs, we thought to ourselves, hey, we have no kids. We work from home a lot. Let's go get a dog. And to the animal shelter, we decided to go. It's always a great idea to make big decisions after a few drinks, right? But we thought to ourselves, hey, it's too early for dinner and we don't have much else to do, so why not? Now, we walked through the animal shelter and it was kind of sad. I mean, not as sad as, say, a Sarah McLachlan commercial, but these animals, as we were told, have been there for months, if not years. These cats and dogs, when they look at you, they sit there with those huge eyes. I mean, you would have to be unhuman not to want to take all of them. However, we walked around and spoke to some of the employees there. We ultimately came upon Churchill. And like the character for which he was named, this cat was beefy and almost bluish, but didn't possess those glowing green eyes. Apparently, Churchill had been there for over a year. His previous owner just left him in the apartment and moved to Florida. It took over a year for the people in the actual shelter to find him and bring them into the shelter, and he had been there for a long time. Now, with this tearjerker of a story, my wife was hooked. Not on a dog, but a cat. I wasn't so convinced. And to be assiduous, I persuaded my wife to let us sleep on the decision to take the cat. I mean, after all, we were going to adopt it after a few drinks, and we were both very tired. So we went home, went through the pros and cons of actually getting this cat, and did some contemplation on how it would actually reside in the house. So we figured out where he would sleep, where we would put his litter box, and where we would put his food. The next morning, we woke up and we immediately knew we had to get him. A few hours later, we picked him up. We renamed him Potter after Harry. Then we brought this British short hair to his new home. Now here we are, it's almost 4 years later. There are lots of fun things that I enjoy about him, like how he likes to hang out with me, how he meets me at the door, and how he sits with me sometimes. But at the same time, he doesn't consistently use his litter box, especially if we don't let him outside. He still brings home chipmunks from the woods that are mostly dead and sometimes get up and run around the house. And he still wakes up at 3:30 a.m. and meows for 45 minutes to go outside. But I wouldn't give him up. I mean, I don't have to wake up 5 times a night to feed him. I don't have to pay $100,000 for his education. I don't really have to pay for his food other than like $20 a month. And one of the best parts is if I want to go away on vacation or a long weekend, I can just drop him off at the vet or have a friend feed him every other day. Now, don't get me wrong. I do love my nieces and my friends' kids, but sometimes a cat is about all the responsibility I can handle. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Dan. I'm going to ask the timer to give us a minute so that others can provide feedback to Dan and also give Steve the time to write his evaluation.